Hey everyone, join me as I make this prom dress. I'm first starting out by just building the muslin, which is simply a template that I'm going to use on my client later to just test fit what needs to be where and how this gown is going to lay on her. So right now I'm just checking for what needs to be tightened, what might need to be lengthened, and any other fit issues to take into account before we go ahead and select her final fabrics and yardage. I'm also consulting my grandmother, the OG of sewing, about the tail. It's going to be super dramatic, trust me. And so we're going to the fabric store, and this is probably my favorite part of the process. I just love all the colors, and I'm usually getting inspiration while I'm shopping for one project. I'm getting inspiration for another project that I'm definitely going to work on right after this one. If you're from Chicago, I recommend going to Textile Discount Outlet on 21st Street, and I recommend going to Rainbow Fabrics over on Roosevelt Road in South Loop. They both are the one-stop shops for all prom things, as well as wedding and whatever other special occasion fabrics you might want. Joann's might not have it, but we ended up picking this really cute brown. It matches her skin tone, and it's going to really help with the risque look that we're going for later. Here are her final fabrics. We have a really cute beaded and lacy material. We have this velvet, sexy, sultry material, and then we have our lining, of course. And then all the basics of what I need to get my job done. We got the scissors, the blades, the thread, the needles, the pins, the ruler, of course the sketch, and a speaker because we're going to be playing Kendrick Lamar on a loop after recent events. So I'm going back to the muslin just to consult the different changes that I got from our last fitting. I want to make sure that this muslin is where it needs to be before I lay it on the fabric, because once I lay it on the fabric and I cut it, it's kind of final. So I'm consulting the sketch a lot throughout the process. It holds me accountable. I'm going in, I'm cutting the fabric, I'm cutting the tail, I'm cutting the bodice. This takes a little bit of a while because these fabrics tend to be pretty flimsy and really fragile, and you want to make sure that you're cutting it at the right grain lines, that you're not cutting it in a way where it's stretching and then it looks really weird. Sometimes you end up cutting these fabrics and the pieces are not identical or symmetrical at all. But we finished, and it looks really cute. I love just the materials themselves. I'm such a process-oriented person, so, I really dive into the weeds when it comes to sewing, and I appreciate each stage of it. And I love working with really nice, fine materials that challenge me a little bit, and this dress definitely did that. We're already seeing some changes we're going to have to do. I'm going to have to add some lace on the back and the front. We're going to have to deepen that neckline. I'm going to go in and actually take out a lot of this extra lining so that more of this lace can show on its own and it gives more of that nude effect that we want. And I'm going to simply do that by just adding more of the fabric that we already have. So I'm going to take some trimming, I'm going to hand sew it together, and it's going to look really nice and really seamless here. And it's going to lay on her boob area very, very nicely. So we're going into her third fitting, and we see that the bodice is fitting a lot better, and now there's an opportunity to adjust the waistline so that it lays exactly where she wants it. So I'm going to go in and take about 3 inches off of the bodice. In order to do that, I'm just going to have to remove the skirt from around the bodice here. So you're going to see me with my seam ripper, but before I can even jump into that, I got to take a little break real quick. And yes, as you can see, I am either watching All American or Bridgerton. Honestly, it's something about having Netflix on in the background. I work a lot better with TV on. Some people have music. I have television, and I'm usually binging something. As you can see here, the bodice fits a lot better, and now I'm actually going to go in and add that same effect of lacing material around the back. So the back of her dress, it's the same design as the front of the dress. It's a very deep V-neck. It's just going to have a zipper at the bottom. But we thought it would be really cute to go ahead and add in this diamond piece down the back. And I'm doing my best to keep everything super symmetrical and even so that it looks really nice and seamless. Now it's time to go back in and put the pieces back together. This takes a little bit of time just because we have a lot of stretchy fabric, and we want to make sure we're not stretching the fabric where it's not fitting where it needs to fit anymore. So she comes back to try it on, and we're actually getting close to the finish line here, so I'm starting to get a little antsy and excited. And the back looks beautiful. It's laying the way we intended. I'm going to adjust it a little bit more. And now we're working on this sash that's going to be across her waistline as well. Gosh, it looks really beautiful. And this is the drama. I told y'all there was drama with the train. We weren't kidding around with the drama with the train. But I'm working on adding the zipper in here. And this is the final piece. She looks stunning. She looks good.